I signed up for a week of silence at an off-grid cabin. What I got was a generator that turned itself on every night at exactly 3 a.m., and I never found out why. Tonight, a machine that runs on its own and won't say what it's counting down to. A locked room that shouldn't have anyone in it, until something proves otherwise, and a light in the trees where nothing is supposed to exist, getting closer every night. If you've ever wanted total isolation, you might want to hear these first. 3 nights into an off-grid cabin stay, the generator started turning itself on at exactly 3 a.m. I never found out why. I'd booked the place for a week. No Wi-Fi, no cell signal, solar power with a backup generator for emergencies. That was the whole point. I wanted to disappear for a while. The host had one rule, repeated twice before I even arrived. Don't touch the generator settings. I didn't plan to touch anything mechanical out there anyway. Night 1, nothing. Just the kind of silence you don't get anywhere near a city. No traffic, no hum, nothing but wind and my own breathing, loud in my ears because there was nothing else to cover it. Night 2, I woke up to a low mechanical hum outside. Checked my phone. No alarms set. I lay there a minute, telling myself it would stop on its own. It didn't. I got up, grabbed a flashlight, went to look. The generator was running. On its own. No one near it. Gasoline and hot metal in the air. That specific smell you only notice when a machine's been running longer than it's supposed to. 7 minutes, almost to the second. Then it cut off, dead silent, like it had never happened. I told myself it was some kind of automated cycle. Told myself that a few more times than I needed to before I went back to bed. Morning, I messaged the host. Generator turned on by itself last night. Any idea why? Her reply took most of the day. It shouldn't do that. Don't go near it when it does. That was the whole message. No explanation. Night 3. The hum started again. Except this time, the cabin lights dimmed along with it. Not a flicker. A slow dim. Like something was pulling power from somewhere else in the house. I checked the back door. Unlocked. I'd locked it myself. I always do. Cold air pushed in. Pine. Wet dirt. And under it, gasoline again. Stronger now. Like it was coming from inside the house, instead of the shed outside. I didn't go out. I stood in that doorway and counted the minutes instead. Minute 6, the pitch changed. Lower. Uneven. Minute 7, it cut out. And in that half-second of silence before the woods went back to normal, I heard something breathing. Close. Right on the other side of the door I was standing against. I left the next morning. 2 days early. Whatever was breathing out there never tried to come in, because it didn't need to. What would scare you more, something breathing outside your cabin or hearing footsteps inside it? Tell me in the comments. The next story is different, because whatever was inside this cabin wasn't outside trying to get in. It was already inside. We heard footsteps in a locked room, in a cabin 4 miles from anyone else. By 3 a.m., that room wasn't locked anymore. My partner and I booked an off-grid cabin for the weekend. The listing mentioned 3 bedrooms, but only 2 were part of the stay. Room 3 was locked, marked storage. Neither of us thought twice about it. First night was good. Wind through the trees, the kind of quiet you forget exists. We fell asleep early, worn out from the drive. Around 1 a.m., I woke up to slow, deliberate footsteps down the hall. Checked beside me. My partner still asleep. Checked the second bedroom. Empty. The sound was coming from room 3. I stood outside that locked door a full minute. Something shifting weight on old floorboards. Slow, unhurried. Cold air was leaking out from under the door. Colder than the hallway. Like that room had its own weather. I tried the handle anyway, locked. Told myself it was the cabin settling, old wood in the cold. Went back to bed, even though I didn't believe it. Around 3 a.m., my partner got up for water and tried the handle on her way past. It turned. No resistance. She came back a minute later, hand actually shaking. "You have to see this," she whispered. I followed her down the hall. Door open now. The room looked lived in. Bed unmade, blanket pushed back. But the pillow was flat. No indent at all, like it hadn't actually been slept on in years. The closet door was open too, just a crack. One jacket inside. Old, wrong decade, dust everywhere except a clean strip down the front, like something had been leaning against it recently. Cold air was coming from that closet specifically, not the room. I don't remember either of us touching that closet door. We backed out slowly. The bedroom door swung shut behind us on its own weight and locked again. No key, no hand anywhere near it. We didn't sleep the rest of that night. Kitchen, lights on until sunrise. Then checked the door together in daylight. Locked. Solid. No visible way it could open and lock itself. I messaged the host. "We heard someone in room 3 last night. The door opened on its own." Her reply, hours later. "Please don't go near that room again." We left that morning. I looked the listing up months later. Still active. Room 3 still labeled storage. I think about that jacket more than the footsteps. Someone leaned against it recently enough to leave a clean line through years of dust. We never found out who still fits in a coat that old. The last story is the one I still think about the most. The nearest cabin was 4 miles away, according to the map. Then I saw its light through the trees, a quarter-mile from mine. I stayed alone at an off-grid cabin for a week. Total isolation, exactly what I wanted. The host had been specific, nothing nearby for miles. I checked the map myself, she was right. First 2 nights were fine, quiet in the way you only get that far from anything. Third night, stepping outside for firewood, I noticed something through the trees. A light, steady and warm, like a porch light or a window glowing from inside a house. Not flickering, not swinging like someone walking with a flashlight. Just sitting there, constant. Close enough that I could roughly place it, maybe a quarter mile through the trees, nowhere close to the 4 miles the host had described. The next morning, curiosity won. I hiked toward where I'd seen it, expecting some small structure. I found nothing. No foundation, no cleared ground, no debris, just trees. That night, the light was back, closer than before. I messaged the host, catching weak signal near the window. "There's a light through the trees." I checked. Nothing's actually there. It's closer tonight than last night. She didn't explain anything. Instead, is it closer to your cabin or closer to the trail out? I checked. It sat almost exactly between my cabin and the trail I'd need to hike out on. "Leave now," she wrote. "Don't wait for morning." I asked why. "Which direction are you facing right now?" I didn't wait to think it through. Packed fast. Started hiking while there was still light left. Halfway down the trail, I looked back once. The light was right where the empty ground had been that morning, between me and the cabin I'd just left. Not behind me, not ahead on the trail. Positioned, like it knew exactly where I wasn't. I didn't look back again. Made it to the road. Flagged down the first car. I messaged the host once I had real signal, just to let her know I'd made it out. Good. Don't tell me next time, just leave. I still don't like turning my back to open trees. If you enjoyed these stories and want more true camping and cabin horror every week, don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you in the next one.